How to accomplish your goals with clicker training. I've developed a method that I use that gives you clarity in how you can go from an idea of what you want with your horse to having it done in real life. So for me, what works for me is dividing your goals into what, how, and when. And when you make decisions about that, it's way easier because you have a great starting point. So we start with the what. What are you going to accomplish? And the what is all written down in your training plan. Your training plan consists of your goal, and we talk about how to get to that. Then the how. The how is your shaping plans will determine how. How are you going to train all the behaviors that you mentioned in your training plan that are your goal? And then a when is making a training schedule. So I like to work from big to small. So there is a map, you have a vague idea. I would like to go, for instance, on holiday, and then you pinpoint it to an exact goal. That's where I want to go. So maybe you start with the idea. Let's take the example of Ingrid. She wants to do a performance, a show with her horse, and so that's the big plan. And then the smaller elements is the questions like, how long do you want that performance to be? Is it a performance as in a kind of a show, or is it more like a demo that you do, that you show the audience how it's done, and then you also do an explanation of what you're doing and so on. So it needs to be very concise. You need to be clear about what it is that you want, and then you can pick the behaviors that are a part of it. From big to small, I want to ride dressage, and then what will be your first dressage test? So what do you need to do? You need to be able to wash your horse because you want to show up with a clean horse. You want to braid your horse, so your horse needs to be able to stand while you're braiding your horse, and then all the elements of that test in the competition, you all have to split that out. So that is what you will write down in your training plan. Then for each of the behaviors, like for instance, you want to go to a performance, your horse needs to go into a trailer. Because without the trailer, without the ride, you cannot arrive where you want to go. So that's where the shaping plans come in. Again, you work from big to small. Your goal is trailer loading, and then you divide it up into smaller steps. You have a performance to do. So what are the behaviors that you want to train your horse to do? The cues and everything will be in your shaping plan. And we can do this together in the HippoLogic Academy. Then we need to have a schedule. So here's an example of a schedule that I made long time ago when Kira was 11 months old. I had a 10-year plan, and then I divided it into a 5-year plan, a 1-year plan, monthly plans, and every month I divided it into a weekly plan. So that's how I created a schedule. Another way of doing it is just making a planning, what days of the week you will be training. That's another part of making a schedule. And in the training schedule, you also need to have accountability. If you show up for the weekly coaching calls, you get accountability every week. And then the last thing that will help accomplish your goals is to track your training. Without tracking your results, now let it put it this way. When you track your results, you get clarity about let me think. Yeah, you get clarity about what you're doing right and the things that you need to work on. Because in the training journal, I ask you to write down all the things that went well. So you get a really good idea of what you already very good at, and then one learning point. What do you want to focus on? And the better you track your training, that's what I wanted to say, the better you can recognize patterns. Oh, do I have this pattern that, for instance, I put my hand in my pocket before I click, so my horse got distracted because that became the marker, something like that. When you become aware of that, because you are using a training journal, then you can improve faster and develop your skills better. And I'm here to help you. So that was my little explanation about how I go from a big goal to actually doing it.